Hello everyone. Good morning. Myself Sonali Ananta Hivrare and I welcome you all to our video series on the difference equation second. This is our lecture number 10 and which will be based on the unit number 2. In the previous lecture, that is lecture number 9, we have started the unit second and we have seen the SLBVV, that is Sturm-Liouville boundary value problem. The next topics will be finite Fourier analysis. So let's start the lecture number 10. So finite Fourier analysis, that is our first topic of today's lecture. So what is finite Fourier analysis? We will start with the definition. So let y of z and z of t, y is a function of z and z is a function of t, be complex valued functions defined on closed interval a plus 1 b plus 1, then the inner product, you all know the sign of the inner product, that is defined by inner product of yz, that is equals to summation over t from a plus 1 to b plus 1 y of t into z of t. Then this inner product satisfies following properties. This inner product will satisfy the following properties, and that are, first is inner product of y plus z and w, that is equals to yw plus zw. Second one is alpha y and z equals to, alpha is taken out and inner product of yz. The third one is inner product of yz equals to zy conjugate. This is the sign for the conjugate. And the fourth one is inner product of y, that is strictly greater than 0. This is strictly greater than 0, and we have given that where y is not the trivial function on closed interval a plus 1 and b plus 1. So let's read once again. Let y of z and z of t. सो आपल्याकडे गिवन आहेत y हे फंक्शन आहे झेडचं आणि z हे फंक्शन आहे दिलेलं टीचं. Be a complex valued functions. So be a complex valued functions defined on closed interval a plus 1 and b plus 1. Complex valued function दिलेले आहेत आपल्याकडे y of z आणि z of t. So what is complex valued function? So let's see what is complex valued function. So we will see the definition. What is complex valued function? A complex valued function, a complex valued function is a function. काय म्हणते? A complex valued function is a function that is f from S to C whose codomain is a set of complex number C. म्हणजे आपल्याकडे f हे फंक्शन दिलेलं आहे जे S टू C वरती वॅरी करतं आणि ज्याचा कोडोमेन मीन्स हा C, तर ज्याचा कोडोमेन इज अ सेट ऑफ कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबर C. हा कोडोमेनचा सेट कॉम्प्लेक्स नंबरचा सेट असला पाहिजे, तेव्हा आपण त्या फंक्शनला कॉम्प्लेक्स व्हॅल्यूड फंक्शन म्हणू. सो हियर आपल्याकडे दिलेले आहेत y ऑफ z अँड z ऑफ t हे कॉम्प्लेक्स व्हॅल्यूड फंक्शन्स आहेत. सो डिफाइंड on a plus 1 and b plus 1, then the inner product is defined by. सो हा इनर प्रोडक्ट आपण डिफाईन केला समेशन ओव्हर टी फ्रॉम ए प्लस वन टू बी प्लस वन इन वाय ऑफ टी इंटू झेड ऑफ टी. आणि या इनर प्रोडक्टनी या 4 प्रॉपर्टीज सॅटिस्फाय केल्या पाहिजेत. सो लेट स्टार्ट विथ द प्रूफ. या 4 प्रॉपर्टीज आपण कशा सॅटिस्फाय करायच्या ते पाहू. सो फर्स्ट प्रॉपर्टी इज इनर प्रोडक्ट ऑफ y प्लस झेड अँड डब्ल्यू इक्वल्स टू, आपल्याकडे दिलेलं आहे y प्लस झेड आणि डब्ल्यू, आणि आपल्याला प्रूफ करायचं आहे इनर प्रोडक्ट ऑफ वाय डब्ल्यू प्लस झेड डब्ल्यू. सो लेट स्टार्ट y प्लस झेड अँड डब्ल्यू. सी, आपण डिफाईन केला इनर प्रोडक्ट वाय झेडला. ही डेफिनेशन आपण इथे लावून इक्वल्स टू समेशन ओव्हर टी फ्रॉम ए प्लस वन टू बी प्लस वन. आपल्याकडे होतं वाय प्लस झेड, सो आपण घेतलं वाय ऑफ टी प्लस झेड ऑफ टी. दिस इज फॉर वाय प्लस झेड अँड दिस ओमेगा वॉज हिअर. सो ओमेगा ऑफ टी अँड conjugate of it. Therefore, summation from t equals to a plus 1 over to b plus 1. So we have inner product of y plus z and w, that is omega. So is equals to summation over t from a plus 1 to b plus 1 and y of t plus z of t, that is for y plus z, this y plus z, and राहिलेला जो ओमेगा आहे तो आपण बाहेर घेतला आणि त्याच्यावरती कॉन्जुगेटचा साइन आला, कारण आपल्याला दिलेलं आहे y आणि z हे कॉम्प्लेक्स व्हॅल्यूड फंक्शन्स आहेत. सो आपण जेवढंही काही याद करू ते सर्व कॉम्प्लेक्स फंक्शन्स राहतील. सो देअरफॉर इन द कॉम्प्लेक्स वी take the conjugate of the second value of the inner product. So next is equals to summation over t from a plus 1 to b plus 1 in bracket y of t into w of t, that is omega of t conjugate, plus z of t into omega of t conjugate. We have multiplied this into the bracket. Next step is summation over t from a plus 1 to b plus 1 y of t omega of t conjugate plus summation of t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 z of t and omega of t conjugate. We have separated the summation, and from this we can write it like this: inner product of yw plus inner product of zw. So first property is proved. We will see the second property now. So that is inner product of alpha y z equals to, आपल्याला प्रूफ करायचं आहे अल्फा वाय झेड. सो दॅट इज इक्वल्स टू समेशन फ्रॉम टी इक्वल्स टू ए प्लस 1 टू बी प्लस 1 अल्फा ऑफ वाय ऑफ टी. These both are the, sorry, y is the function of t and z is the function of t here on the complex. So summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 alpha of y of t into conjugate of z of t equals to, we have taken alpha out, therefore alpha into summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 y of t into conjugate of z of t. Again alpha is out and we can write it like inner product of yz. Second property is also proved. Now we will move towards third property. So the third property will be conjugate of inner product of zy. This was our right hand side and we have to prove this. So we have taken the right hand side and we will prove the left hand side. So the conjugate of zy equals to summation from a, summation over t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 z of t and y of t conjugate. This is for z and y आणि हा conjugate directly वरती आला. त्यामुळे आपल्याला असं मिळालं समेशन एन झेड ऑफ टी वाय ऑफ टी कॉन्जुगेट अँड गोल कॉन्जुगेट. Therefore, summation from a plus 1 to b plus 1 z of t into y of t and conjugate equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 conjugate of z of t, and we get y of t because if we gave conjugate over conjugate we get the actual answer. Therefore, summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 conjugate of z of t and y of t is out of the conjugate. Therefore, equals to inner product of y and z, and hence the third property is proved. Now let's move for the fourth property. Let y is or not equals to 0, and we have to prove that y inner product of y is strictly greater than 0. So let's consider the inner product yy, that is equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 y of t into conjugate of y of t, that is equals to summation t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1. We all know if y of t into conjugate of y of t, this property can be written as the mod of y of t whole square. So we have written it like this, and that is always, mod is always greater than 0. So therefore that is equals to greater than 0, and hence proved. Our fourth property is proved, and therefore the finite Fourier analysis, these four properties are proven. Let's move. We will see the definition of weight function. So weight function, let r of t is greater than 0 on close interval a plus 1 and b plus 1, and y of t and z of t be the complex valued functions defined on the close interval a plus 1 and b plus 1, then the inner product with respect to weight function, that is r of t, is defined as, so this inner product with respect to r is given by equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 r of t y of t into conjugate of z of t. So in the previous theorem we have seen the inner product is defined as simply, but here we have the inner product with respect to this weight function. So let's see. This inner product will satisfy the four properties here, that is with respect to the weight function. Now start with the proof. We will prove the first property, that is yz and omega with respect to r. Inner product of yz and omega with respect to r, that is equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 in bracket r of t into y of t into z of t, as we have given here. So we have taken this, then omega is out and its conjugate. As I mentioned in the last theorem, this is because they belongs to complex function. Therefore equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 r of t into y of t plus omega of t चा conjugate plus z of t आणि परत omega of t conjugate. So we have taken r of t out of the bracket and multiplied the omega of t conjugate to y of t and z of t. Sorry, this should be plus. Then equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 r of t y of t into conjugate of omega of t plus, we have summation to this, then summation equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 r of t into z of t into omega of t conjugate. That is equals to, this value is written as inner product of yw, that is y omega, with respect to weight function r, and this value is written as inner product of z omega with respect to r, and that is first property is proven. So next property is similarly like the first theorem, alpha as the constant. So we will prove as inner product of alpha y with z with respect to weight function r, that is equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 r of t into bracket alpha of y of t into conjugate of z of t, that is equals to alpha. We have taken the alpha out of the summation, alpha into summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 r of t into y of t and this conjugate as it is. So therefore we can write this whole term as the inner product of yz with respect to weight function r, and this alpha as it is. Therefore the second property is proved. Now moving to third property. So similarly as we have proven into the last theorem, we have taken the right hand side and we will prove the left hand side. You can see here, this is the right hand side of the property. We will take this and prove this one. So let's start. Inner product of zy conjugate of it and with respect to weight function r. So inner product of zy conjugate with respect to r is equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 r of t, z of t and y of t conjugate whole conjugate equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 conjugate of r of t, z of t and conjugate of y of t. So in the previous theorem we have seen y of t conjugate or conjugate will be given as the y of t. So y of t is out of the conjugate, therefore equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 r of t, z of t conjugate and y of t. Since this is weight function, so there is no conjugate over it, therefore this whole term can be written as the inner product of yz with respect to weight function r. Now let's moving further for the fourth property, and we have to prove that y is greater than 0. So consider inner product of y with respect to y and the whole inner product with respect to weight function r. So that is equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 y of t into r of t into y of t whole conjugate. Therefore it is equals to summation from t equals to a plus 1 to b plus 1 mod of y of t whole square, this and this combine and it will give as y of t mod square. This is a property we have seen in the previous theorem also, and r of t as it is taken. So therefore this property is must be greater than 0 because we have mod here, and you know mod is always greater than 0. So hence proved. Similarly both the theorems are proved, weight function and the finite Fourier analysis inner product. So next we will see the theorem based on the self-adjoint concept. But before that we will see the definition of self-adjoint. So the definition is, if inner product of L, Y and Z, this is the linear operator L operating on Y and Z, So inner product of Ly and Z equals to inner product of y and Lz for all y. So this will apply on all the y's in this set, that is capital D, which is the set of complex valued function. It's the set of the complex valued function on the closed interval a and b plus 2, where py equals to qy equals to 0. This both will be 0, and then we say that the BVP boundary value problem L of y of t plus lambda of r of t into y of t equals to 0, where p of y equals to 0 equals to qy, that is self-adjoint. So this BVP will be self-adjoint if we have given Lyz and Ylz are the equal inner products. So let's start with the theorem. The statement of the theorem is, if P of b plus 1 into determinant of A equals to P of A into determinant of B holds, if this property holds, then the BVP L of y of t plus lambda of r of t into y of t equals to 0 and py equals to alpha y of a plus b into delta y of 0 equals to 0 and qy equals to vyb plus 1 plus delta delta yb plus 1 equals to 0, where alpha square plus beta square is 0 and gamma square plus delta square is also not equals to 0, then they are self-adjoint, and 4 of this, that is alpha, beta, gamma and delta, will be belong to real number. So this BVP we have given will be self-adjoint. We have to prove. So let's start with the proof. Let y and z belongs to capital D. We have given the capital D is the set of complex valued function on function on closed interval a and b plus 2. So these y and z must be the complex valued function. So let's continue. Y and z belongs to capital D. Then using Lagrange's theorem and Green's identity, we have seen both of this in the previous unit. So if you don't remember these two, then you can go through the previous videos and you will find it there. So using Lagrange's theorem and Green's identity, we get summation from a plus 1 to b plus 1 varying over t L of y of t into z of t conjugate minus summation over t from a plus 1 to b plus 1 y of t and conjugate of L of z of t. So we have used the Lagrange's theorem and Green's identity. Next is, that is equals to in the bracket p of t into omega of z of t conjugate into y of t, bracket close, t is varying from a to b plus 1, and this identity you will see in the first unit if you go through the lectures for Lagrange's theorem and Green's identity. So next, it is equals to inner product of Lyz minus inner product of Ylz will be equals to p of t omega of z of t conjugate into y of t. T varies from a to b plus 1, and we will give it as the equation number 1. So using py equals to alpha ya plus beta into delta ya of 0, ya equals to 0, we get p z conjugate equals to alpha of z of a conjugate plus beta of delta of z of a conjugate. In the place of y, we have taken z conjugate. So wherever we have y of a, we will take it as z of a conjugate. Now eliminating alpha and beta from above equation, we get the Cartesian or the determinant of y of a, delta y of a, z of a conjugate and delta of z of a conjugate equals to 0. That is Cartesian of y of a and z of a Cartesian equals to 0. That is implying omega of z of a conjugate into y of a equals to 0. We have just moved it. Therefore, p of a into omega of z of a conjugate into y of a equals to 0. And this has given the equation number 2. Now, similarly, we have used py and here we will use qy. So, similarly using qy equals to gamma y of b plus 1 plus delta capital delta y of b plus 1 equals to 0. Therefore, here in the place of y we will use z conjugate. And similarly eliminating gamma and delta from above equation, we get y of b plus 1 delta y of b plus 1 z of b plus 1 delta z of b plus 1, both are the conjugates. Therefore, it will give as the Cartesian of z of b plus 1 conjugate and y of b plus 1 equals to 0. This will imply as p of b plus 1 Cartesian of z of b plus 1 conjugate into y of b plus 1 equals to 0. And this will be the equation number 3. So now we have taken this quantity as p of t into omega of z of t conjugate into y of t, and t varies from a to b plus 1, that is equals to, we will apply these limits to this. Therefore, p of b plus 1 omega of z of b plus 1 conjugate into y of b plus 1 minus p of a into omega of z of a conjugate into y of a, and that is equals to 0. This is the upper limit and this is the lower limit we have put, therefore equals to 0 and from 2 and 3. So equation 2 is p of a into omega of z of a conjugate into y of equals to 0. So this was the second equation and this is our third equation. So from 2 and 3 we have get 0, and therefore inner product of Ly and z equals to inner product of YLZ is equal. And therefore, the given SLBVP is self-adjoint, and that is our required solution. This was our required solution and hence proved. So, this is done for the today's lecture. We will see the next topics in the lecture number 11. Thank you.